All right, here we go. Try it again. Welcome back. Quarterback School Show. Launch day. Free course. If it's free, it's for me. We'll find out. George Smith checking in. Love it. Hunter, see ya. Hey, what's good, y'all? Little Monday. Not going to lie, had a hard time figuring out what day this was. A little California camp vibe already out here for me. Just started. Still in the camp mindset where things start running together. Do me a favor. Love it as you come in. Crush it. Smash it. Whatever you want to say. Again, appreciate y'all hanging out there. Noah coming back. Todd, you're right. A little overlap. I'm cutting this thing. Is coming to a sharp end at like 5:50. I will be going over to the man, the myth, Coach Mackey channel. Talk a little quick game over there. So excited to see some familiar faces over there. Make sure you give Coach Mackey a tough time for me. I always like doing that. He's in that TikTok game now. I love it. I do appreciate y'all checking in. Very good. Noah, a little late to the party with the lookalikes. Again, appreciate the all the support. Hopefully, everyone let me know how your experience went today with the free new quick game course. I will be giving that out. Not giving it out. It will be sent out to you every Saturday here, the next 5 Saturdays once you sign up. So very excited to share it. I think you'll dig the detail one coming up next. The route one, it's a little bit wide receiver-y. Not going to lie, there are some adjustments I think that are unique to the quarterback position. And then we really dive into it, concepts, combinations, some of my favorite things. Geeked up, Emmanuel. I see ya. Cha-ching.
Cheers.
Boom. Love it. Brian, appreciate it. Yo, Steven. Yo, what's up, JT? Loved seeing you in that 14. Appreciate that. Zach Wilson or Justin Fields? I'm not ready to go all in yet. I'm probably leaning towards Fields. We'll see if my bias holds up over the course of, I'm sure I'll watch a few more games of each of those guys. Doing Trevor Lawrence this week for the Patreon community. Probably Trevor Lawrence for the channel tomorrow if I can get done with the video. Takes a long time. Daniel, appreciate it. Boom. Quick game coming in hot. Love seeing the members in here. Different colored logos. Sincerely appreciate the support. Means a good deal to me. Means a great deal to me. So appreciate it. Flames Law, back at it. Good to see you again. Ooh. Tomas, you want to learn the run and shoot? I'm probably not your guy. I'm pretty sure they have a bunch of run and shoot stuff available. You can get certified. I need a certified thing. That would be funny if I had like a little certification thing. Take a shot at those cats. I'm just joking. But seriously. Todd, will the new course be put onto Teachable at some point just so I can keep all your stuff together? That's a good call. I could do that easily enough. We'll see. That's a good idea. I hadn't thought about it just because I'm really trying to get people to get used to opening the emails. But that's a good call, just so they're all housed in the same place. So really, if you sign up for that, I could just give you access through Teachable. I like the thinking, Todd. See? Still making contributions. Love it. Remind me, I need to get on that if I don't do it. Emmanuel, hey JT, which teams do you think will make a jump in the NFC and AFC or NFL? I have no idea. I haven't thought about it for a hot second. Locked in with this draft world, these quarterbacks coming out. Excited to get into that. I apologize. Michael, where does Caleb go to school? I don't know off the top of my head. Alex, appreciate it. Everybody, 100% Teachable. Again, I love it. Oh, wow. Miss Maisha checking in. Hot. Appreciate it. Love the way parents are loving you. Yeah, he needs to continue to make his Zooms as well. I think there was one at 4:30 and 4:50, or at least 4:50 for sure. But we need to continue to ramp up our expectations. So we're moving in the right direction, but it's a slow process. Just need to be steady on our path. Western Michigan in the house. Appreciate it. I'm seeing some new faces in here tonight. I do really appreciate it. I'm excited to, if you have questions, quick game specific, get into that sort of stuff. I'm excited to see what else we're going to do. I know I'm trying very hard to get, what's the dude's name from Stanford? Mills at some point. There are a handful of other quarterbacks that I have in the pipeline that I would like to get to. I'd like to get to Book again. I want to make sure that I get as many draft ones as I can. It's already March, for goodness sake, and this thing's going to be going upon us quickly. So I need to do a good job of cranking them out. Might not be as long as some of them have been here in a hot minute, but see how many I can get going. Emmanuel, you must think this is other position channel. I like it. Daniel, hey JT, I know it's a year early. You haven't watched a lot of film yet, but right off the dome, that's Oklahoma and UNC. I don't know. I can't give you a good answer, to be honest with you. I like both of them. I thought the games that I saw, I'm trying to think what game it was where you got like pulled, fought through some adversity. That was pretty nice to see. I really enjoyed that. I don't get a chance to watch a lot of TV UNC. I need to go back, and I have my hands on a little bit of the All-22. I'm sure I'll get to both of those guys after the draft. So that's a good one. Make sure to remind me if I don't get to them soon enough. Adrian, do you think the depth in this draft is fool's gold stemming from the COVID season? No. I mean, I always think that there's, if you hit depth, if you're fortunate enough to hit a starter or, God forbid, like a Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame type guy late in the draft, it's always kind of fool's gold in that regard. It's hard, but I think you're just looking to build a roster, build some depth at certain positions, be intentional with what you're trying to build as an organization. I don't think this year is any different. I think it will be a little different as far as just, are things skewed as far as the evaluation because of, limited number of opportunities to see them in person, for games, all those types of things. But over the long haul, I think it'll sort itself out. Brazil, appreciate it. I do sincerely appreciate y'all being engaged, checking in. Let me know where you're checking in from. Fun to see certain places pop up. There you go. Todd coming in. Red River Shootout. Appreciate that, Michael. Very cool. Sundeep Bath from Eastern Michigan. That is, I'm not going to lie right now. I got a vest on, but it's nice here. Not a lot of winter going on in San Diego. Oh, Brock coming in nice with the quick game question. I like it. Oh, but it's for receivers? I should have read the whole thing. I talk actually a decent amount, probably more than I normally do on the channel in the third video for the course on routes, and get into a little bit of specifics. I've gone both ways and really go back and forth as far as what I prefer. I'm used to, I would say, in the league, it was a lot of steps. So like 3-step this, 4-step this, 5-step, that type of thing. Odd ones for in-breaking routes, even for out-breaking routes. We mess around a little bit with that versus free access, but some of it, I think it's a little bit of a waste of time, depending on, if someone can count to 3 for a slant, but sometimes we can't even get lined up in the line of scrimmage. It's one of those things where you're going to spend your time. So we talk details about routes. We talk details about adjustments really versus, press man, cloud, rolled up corner, half field, those types of things, what I'm used to seeing at different levels in different systems. So that's really the specific of the route game. Oh, wow. El Dorado Hills coming in hot. Jackson, we're glad you're here. Virginia in the house, VA. God, multiple Brazil. I appreciate it. I don't think Tatis is from Brazil, but I like the dance. Peanut Brooks. I like this question. If you were a GM, what would be the number one trait in a QB? Leadership or ability? Well, if you don't have the ability, the leadership doesn't matter. But I don't think they're binary. It doesn't have to be either or. That's the thing about all those questions like that. It's not either or. It's always a combination. But if you don't have the ability, it doesn't matter if you're, General Patton. You're not playing quarterback on Sundays. Mile High Mago, maybe. Hey JT, thanks for the time. Best quick game air raid you like? Well, really the only quick game air raid I like, or I know, I do enjoy it, 618 wheel. I don't have any experience running it as a player or a coach, but it sure looks good when air raid teams do it. I know a lot of air raiders will say enjoy the stick. I'm probably not as big of a stick fan. I think I've done a stick video, X's and O's wise, on the channel. I'm not sure how much I dive into like my actual true feelings for a concept. Put it this way. We don't have stick in the offense that I coach at the high school level. No, if I was at a higher level and had the ability to carry more volume, we would certainly have stick. But I would really only have stick just for the stick nod. I don't really, and why that is, I really get into the course, and I get into it a little bit philosophically in the first video, if you've seen that, because I want our receivers catching the ball on the move, which I think most people want if you think about football strategically. But I also want them going towards the end zone. So I just naturally prefer things that do that. And so the stick is the opposite of that, right? For the most part, if you catch zone, it's almost just like a out-turning hitch. So there's value in getting a completion, value in the horizontal stretch. I think the 618 wheel is probably one of my favorite horizontal stretches. It gives you a good one-on-one opportunity too. But at the end of the day, we're throwing stick. So there you go. Daniel, I think you're right. Oh, George Smith, that's too loaded of a question. Way too loaded of a question. I like it though. What is the most important aspect of leadership? The cheat answer is influence. It's just an influence process. But it's way too deep and broad for this. I do appreciate you trying to nudge me in that direction though. Wiggly Ghibli. Hopefully that's good. Appreciate the support. Very cool. Coming in hot. Hey JT, I love your analytical content. The pump fake is so effective! Exclamation point. Why do we not see young QBs do it so much other than Mahomes? Thanks. Well, I agree for the most part. The pump fake for me depends. And what I mean by that is, I think there's a difference between a pump fake, which to me is like an intentional choice, saying, okay, I'm going to fake it, and then I'm going to do something else. As opposed to what I think like Roethlisberger and sometimes Mahomes do, which I think is way harder, is to turn down a throw. So they're going to throw it, and then at some point they decide I'm not going to throw it, and they just don't let go. So that to me is way harder and more instinctual and better. I think that there are times to pump fake things, but the reason I think it's hard is because really the only time you ever want to pump fake something is when you're dealing with a zone defender. So you have to know it's zone. If it's man, why would you pump fake? Because they're not looking at you. If it's zone and you're gonna pump fake, for me it was always, how are you gonna do it? You're gonna like old Peyton Manning, like double shrug with two hands on the ball. You're gonna take your hand off the ball. You're gonna open hand it. You're gonna do it with the ball in your hand, and then from there, it jacks up the timing, the rhythm. Quarterbacks do so many drops with holding onto the ball two hands at their normal ball carriage. Anything that jacks that up, it's like you don't see a whole lot of batters, like fake like they're going to swing and then hit. It's just, it jacks with the timing, the repetition, all the reps. And so I think there's a time and a place for it. I prefer the natural kind of turn down versus the full on, I'm going to pump it. I can only think of one play, like old school sluggo seam, where I would intentionally pump it. Like if I know I'm not going to throw that slant, pump, flip around, throw the seam back the other way. But I think that's old school football. Hope that makes sense. Appreciate the support. Bruh. Oak Ridge freshman. Okay. Banquet meal. That's an excellent question because I'm watching Trevor Lawrence right now, literally tonight after these lives. I got to go back and finish the Patreon video. I never watched Andrew Luck, like college all 22. I think Trevor Lawrence, right now, at least the like little birds in my ear have been telling me that he maybe hasn't or didn't play quite as well as people might have expected him to play. The little bit that I've seen so far, it's by no means perfect, but it is pretty outstanding. I mean, he's fits all the measurables, can drive the ball down the field, winner, every kind of adjective you could possibly imagine, can make all the throws, can run. He's got to be right up there if he isn't in that same category as Andrew Luck. I don't have like the grading things that like the teams do and all the scouts do, so they can say, hey, I graded him a 7.1 or a 7.25 or something like that. For me, I think he's right in the same category. Jason, what was the hardest part of going from a pro player to a coach? Besides the pay, it's the hardest part. I don't think there's that much of a difference as far as the football element for me. Obviously I'm not out there throwing it very often, if ever. But even when for my role as a pro, I was more often kind of an assistant coach, glorified assistant coach, being a mostly backup quarterback. Excuse me. So the football element of it really isn't that different. It's a little bit more extensive as far as the planning. But even when you're a professional quarterback, you're pretty involved in the run game. You got a good understanding of what the protection issues are, protection concerns, different game situations. That part of it, the football element, is probably significantly less because I'm dealing at the scholastic level, high school level versus that league level. But it's just a understanding your teammates, understanding your team, who you're trying to influence, how you're trying to move the needle, diagnosing where you're at as an organization at the high school level versus the league level, different as far as the roles, the expectations, all those things. So I don't know if anything's the same other than the sport, to be honest with you. George Smith, yes, measurables still matter, absolutely. Now, do I think that they're quite as like barriers to entry as they used to be? No, I think that a certain number of guys who aren't the prototypical size have shown that they can play at a high level in the league. I'm thinking like Kyler, Baker, Russell. I'm sure there are others. But I still think it's way harder, Drew Brees, to be undersized and make it as opposed to be 6'5", 6'6" with a cannon and make it. All right. We got here. Let's go. Let's make sure we're hitting this. If you're in here, we got 70 hanging out right now. Free course. Let me say it again. Free course launches today. Do me a favor. Not only sign up for it, which I sincerely appreciate, but spread the word. Okay? You're active on social media. Share it. Tag me. I'll do my best to retweet it. If it's the Twitter, is about all I do. But again, I sincerely appreciate the support. I really do. It's important for me. I like to share the information. And so this is one of those opportunities to get an opportunity to share it. And so it means a lot to me, especially for the OGs that are in here to support the channel. I sincerely appreciate it. So crank a couple more questions, and then it's over to Coach Mackey for the real show today. Why? Because you woke up early? Cares. Never gets old. Those commercials are pretty good. All right. Jordan, SYC. Do you feel QBs should bring it straight back or use opposite L? I don't know what straight back means. I have a full clinic on mechanics. I don't love to get into the mechanics in the videos. just because I feel like it's such an individualized thing to a certain extent, rabbit hole, especially guys who the videos that I'm usually doing as far as pros and college guys, they're usually pretty locked in as far as they are what they are. But if you're a younger quarterback, I definitely prefer the horizontal L to vertical L loop on the back. I was a big looper. Now I didn't kick it down below my hip, but there's definitely an element of smooth bringing it back as opposed to rigid up and out. I just don't think you can generate any sort of velocity, torque, power, any of those things doing that. So if you're interested, I don't know if that's on the channel. It might be only on the Patreon community. I did a clinic and I just put it on for it. How do you feel about JT Daniels? Do you think he rivals the JT O'Sullivan? I definitely don't think about it. Jackson Palmer, Fields or Trey Lance? I think Trey Lance has a lot of potential. I really do. But it would be hard for me to pick at this point to pick Trey Lance over Justin Fields. I know people love to like poo-poo the Ohio State. Nobody's ever made it out of Ohio State before. Justin Fields a beast. Alex, how did you get your head coaching job? That position is royalty in my hometown. It vacates every 30 years, if that. I'm not gunning for your job. I'm just curious. I applied is the story. When I started thinking I wanted to get back into coaching or get back into football, I applied to 2 jobs, didn't get the first one, and got the one that I'm at. That was the process. It's not a great answer. I apologize. Toby, I'm a big fan of Tua. I'm not. It's crazy to me that people are off Tua in 1 year. Yeah, I think the Dolphins are staying Tua. Man, appreciate y'all. Are we at 550 yet? I want to make sure I don't mess with poor Coach Mackey. He's over there probably freaking out. Do me a favor. In 10 minutes, Coach Mackey, YouTube channel, we going live again. It'll be like we were just talking, and we're going to ramp it back up. I do really appreciate everybody hanging out. It means a lot to me. Some really good questions tonight. Hopefully you got yours answered. If you didn't, come back next Monday evening. We'll run it back again. Probably going to crank out a few more just random live streams over the course of the week. So hopefully you get an opportunity to see that too. Do me a favor, subscribe, hit the notifications, make sure you're part of the Note Squad. Again, I sincerely appreciate all the members hanging out. George, Aaron, Daniel, Brian, all good stuff. Oh, Wiggly Jiggly, making me hang out longer. Boom! Let it rain. Okay, let's see what you got. Thank you for the response earlier. A while back, you mentioned playing in the pros compared to college is like playing on a much higher difficulty in video games. You play video games, and did you back then? I do think I like to use that comparison just because I feel like a lot of people who like football play football video games. And I just remember going from like rookie killing it to like beginner, whatever, intermediate, and then at the very end I'm like, this is too fast, like it's not working. Or like you get to higher like pro bowl things and you're like, this is way harder. And I think eventually you get used to the speed of it. Or the league spits you out in like 6 months. But once I realized personally that it was more processing than it was, I didn't have to block someone faster than me. I didn't have to tackle someone faster than me. I didn't have to run away from someone faster than me very often. And so it was about picking up the speed in which I processed the game, being able to get the ball out on time, where it was supposed to go, make the right decisions. Once I got that element of the speed, I felt like things slowed down. But I definitely remember getting into games, preseason games specifically, with the ones and being like, oh, this is faster. It's not unbearable. It's not a blur. It's not like, what's the other analogy I use? Like the Matrix freeway. Like we can get on the freeway, but it's faster, right? It's not like we're not allowed to get on the freeway. It's okay, it's faster. Let's be smart. let's be prepared. Let's have our seatbelt on. Let's be locked in. Let's pay attention. Let's know where our blind spots are. But we can go fast. And so I just remember that element of it being like, okay, like we're fine. We're going to adjust. But it was definitely faster. And especially I remember being in camp thinking it was fast. Then I remember being in preseason games being like, oh, I could do this. And then you jump in with the ones in a preseason first half or first quarter, second quarter, and you're like, whoa, another surge of fast. And so it takes a hot second to get used to, but once you're used to it, it's just playing football. That's the beautiful thing about it. It really is. It's just playing football. So thank you so much for hanging. Hop over to Coach Mackey. I'll be over there in a hot second. Appreciate y'all.